American Dylan Ragusin, kind of the staple of the team coming in. Dylan is always known to put on fireworks, so this should be an exciting match against Boris Witmer, who's a senior from Columbia.
Yeah, Ragusin ranked 4th in the country at this point in the season. Like you mentioned, coming off an All-American finish last year in Kansas City, and I talked to him a little bit at the MSU Open, and just talking about the confidence that being on that podium kind of instills in him, and coming into this season, and he's excited. He's excited to let it fly. He's ever since he put on the maize and blue, always been somebody that brings fireworks with him when he gets on the mat.
Yeah, Dylan is he really is one of the hardest working guys in the room. I've seen him, year after year, just put in the work and do all the right things. And so to see him, finally get to that 5th place finish last year at the NCAA tournament was, it was a long time coming. And I think that finish hopefully will propel him to want to go win a national title. I think last year even he was very well, setting the goal of becoming a national champ. But to get on that podium and just get the stress of becoming an All-American out of the way, I think Dylan's going to be really exciting to watch this year. Just, a lot of pressure off of him and really able to try to elevate and go for it all.
Oh, 100%. When you talk a little bit about pressure, he started the year redshirting last year and was undefeated until he got pulled out of his red shirt. And I'm sure that kind of left some of the pressure off too. Ragusin from Elk Grove Village, Illinois.
Yep, he is a staple of not only the Michigan wrestling program, but also the Izzy-style wrestling program out in Illinois.
100%.
We have quite the pipeline here, and great takedown from Ragusin, but quite the pipeline of Izzy guys here at Michigan. And, between Will DeWan and Dylan Ragusin of this era, they are two of the, quintessential Izzy guys, I would say. And you'll usually see, that. For those of you who don't know, Izzy is one of the great coaches of high school wrestling and produces some champions. So it's great to see him at these dual meets, but also producing guys that we get to root on in the maize and blue.
100%. Back to our feet here as Witmer gets an escape.
And I liked how Dylan finished that. That takedown right there. He does a really good job of securing takedowns quickly and not allowing a lot of room for scrambling. And I think that
once again down on those legs.
And as I say that, that kind of low double shot, head in the knee. I think it's becoming a really popular shot in college wrestling because you just don't see as much defense for it. If you can get your head and run the corner the right way and get that shot off clean, it's an easy finish, and it doesn't burn a lot of energy, it doesn't burn a lot of clock, and so.
When guys are so good at scrambling now, you see guys all the time doing kind of roll throughs and try and grab other legs and work for a stalemate even in some circumstances. But yeah, that shot really eliminates a lot of those extra scrambles. One thing about Ragusin, too, that's really impressive is he's got such an arsenal. He can go upper body. He can, attack low to the ankles. He's got your more traditional, underhook, to a single leg. How much does that help, just being that dangerous in so many different positions?
Oh, I think it's almost a requirement of being, a high-level wrestler. And nice reversal there from Witmer.
That was impressive. Yeah, Ragusin got a little out of position on top there and ended up giving up the reversal.
Yeah, right at the buzzer too. So if you're Witmer, you got to be happy about that ending, end of the first period finish. But a little bit back to what I was saying. I think wrestling has become so dynamic that you really can't be a one-trick pony at this point, at this level. Especially if you're looking to be an All-American or a national champion. You have to have multiple different tools in your arsenal to be able to go out there and, if you're a great single leg, if you have a great single leg, you might have to develop a low single or a high crotch, right? Or even become a great hand fighter to kind of be able to mask A great high crotch, speaking of, right there from Ragusin.
Well, you were talking about great hand fighting. That's kind of how we got in there. Just got physical, went in, and was able to get that attack off. But again, he's finishing these shots quickly.
Yeah, I always love to say, you know, whenever I'm working with high school or youth wrestlers, that it's really important to spend time on the way you're making contact and your hand fighting tactics, because in high school, a lot of the times, if you get to a certain level where you know you're going to wrestle in college, a lot of the guys you wrestle, you might just be able to go out there and take a shot and take the guy down. But once you get to college, you realize hand fighting becomes a much bigger part of the battle. And so, you know, that takedown was really just a textbook example of, right, he got to a hard collar, got to what we call his heavy set. He knows that's where he can go get one, get to an attack, and just setup becomes basically muscle memory. And that's what it takes at this level, I think. It's really important to hammer that in.
Looks like Dylan was called for locked hands at some point.
Yeah,
Tough.
so we have a close duel. We have a close match here, although,
yeah,
you know, Ragusin's kind of been in the driver's seat, 9-6 currently.
Tough sequences on top for him, giving up that reversal at the end of the period, and then a locked hands and the escape there. But he still has the only takedowns of the match. So despite the closeness in the score, he's been pretty well in control. But anything can happen. This is D1 wrestling.
Yeah, I think if you're Witmer, you're looking to slow this match down and really try to go get one in the third period. If you're Ragusin, you're thinking, forget about those two little mishaps and really try to blow this match open going into this third period.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty motivated here to go out here and put up a couple takedowns and blow this one wide open. Yeah,
and takedown and escape, and you're back in major position. So.
Witmer putting on a good ride though right now.
Yeah. The first move, you know, Dylan did a good job with his first move, but there was just a nice counter there by Witmer. He's kind of riding that near wrist. A great position, like I said, if you want to eat up clock and slow the match down.
Well, and if you're Ragusin too, I mean, yeah, you want to get that major. You want to, you know, secure your riding time or keep that intact. And here he goes.
Yep.
Gets that leg up, gets the reversal of his own, keeps his riding time intact, and now he can go to work on top if he wants, or cut and go for the major. Which is exactly what he does.
So now Ragusin in a position to get a major decision here, but Witmer kind of in a position that's keeping him in this match.
Ooh, nice slide by.
And that's what you're talking about, Kevin, when you said he's got a deep arsenal. I mean, he can shoot every which angle, and then he can also kind of transition to some upper body takedowns, some slick, nasty slide by, and he goes for it again right there. And so he chooses to go back up to the feet to secure the major. He could have secured it with a ride out, but he kind of wanted to, put an emphasis, kind of a stamp on it.
Yep.
19 seconds left. Let's see if he can get it here.
I assume you'd want to go to your number one attack here, but. Yeah, there's the stall call.
So that's his first stall call, I think. So Dylan will have to.
Pushed him right out of bounds. There's the second one.
So Ragusin kind of gets the major in a very unique way. Back-to-back stall calls.
Well, and that's one of the emphasis that they put on the last couple of years. You know, he had already backed up to the edge, which got the first stall call put on him. And then, you know, when you then don't fight harder to get back in the middle, But here's series history.
Future dual meets, so we might get to see this showdown not just this year, but in years to come.
Well, and especially with new head coach Donnie Pritzloff, who spent some time here in Ann Arbor on the coaching staff, and within the Big Ten when he was competing in Wisconsin, and as a coach most recently at Rutgers before taking over the program at Columbia this year. So a lot of familiarity amongst the coaches, and yeah, hopefully we can keep this battle back and forth going.
Yeah, I think that I'm very impressed with the move that Columbia made by bringing in Donnie Pritzloff as the head coach after Tonelli left. I think they had a lot of question marks with who was going to fill that position, and they couldn't have picked a better guy. You know, Donnie is somebody that spent some time at Michigan I got to know, and there's not many coaches like Donnie Pritzloff. I think he's world-class coach, world-class wrestler as well, and he made sure to bring on also a world-class staff, which is just as important. And Sebastian Rivera, who just won an Olympic bronze medal this year at the Paris Olympics. He won a silver medal the year prior, multiple-time All-American from Rutgers. Jeff Buxton, who for wrestling fans know he's one of the all-time great high school wrestling coaches at the Blair Academy. And then finally Greg Molsak, who's a Rutgers, Clarion and Rutgers native of college wrestling, multiple-time All-American, who will be phenomenal for the upperweight guys. So this is a world-class coaching staff. I mean, I think that Columbia is really looking upward with what they have now in store.
100%, and one of the things, too, that's interesting with Sebastian Rivera, he was a Northwestern guy as well. So he's certainly aware of the academic aspects that you have at a place like Columbia that the athletes have to go through as well. But we're back at it here. We've got Sergio Lemley from Michigan, currently ranked 8th in the country, against Kai Owen, currently ranked 27th for Columbia. So this should be a good matchup of two guys ranked in the country.
Yeah, one of our two ranked matchups tonight, and I'm excited for this one. I've got to watch Kai Owen wrestle a little bit, just being a fan of the sport, and he's got some interesting funk in his style. And if you know Sergio, he's kind of I want to say the opposite, but he also has funk, but he's really known for his kind of bull mentality where he just wants to move forward and run right through you, and he's not going to stop wrestling until the whistle blows. And so I think that this clash of matchups could be really interesting.
Yeah, well, definitely difference in stature between the two. Sergio, stockier. Wow, a little good action on that inside reach single. Going to isolate that leg, come up with it. Owen doing a good job trying to lock in the crotch or around the leg there, but Sergio is stingy.
Great takedown.
He's workmanlike.
Yep, and in that position, that's exactly what you want to be, workmanlike. You don't need to do anything explosive or flashy. It's just controlling the position and slowing him down and kind of trying to control one limb at a time, and then waiting for that little window, which he did, and get your takedown.
Yep. I always say, coaching kids, you can't skip steps. You got to go step by step through that process to finish that single. Nice job by Owen to clear his hips there and get up. Get the escape right back up. Trying to go get a takedown of his own.
Yeah, Sergio, one thing is, I think we saw it right early on, is Sergio, if he can continue to get to the legs and be methodical with his finishes, he's a really hard guy to wrestle because he's going to set a pace that, and great shot there as I say that, but he's going to set a pace that a lot of guys cannot hang with. But it just is a matter of limiting points early in the match and then trying to tack them on late in the match. I think that's when we've seen him wrestle his best. And so Sergio's going to have to watch out for the neutral danger here. And as he does that, continues to scramble. Looked like he was going to give it up there, but
that was
magically.
Close. That was close. Got his hips out. Owen doing a really good job still having that ankle and securing it. But Lemley's got him now in neutral danger.
So here.
I thought you would get some swipes, but
no swipes. And in that position, you're looking to get a guy on his back for 3 seconds or more to secure the takedown in kind of a 50-50 position.
This scramble's been going on for about 40 seconds. Real close.
Just in the nick of time, saved by the bell is Kai Owen.
Very exciting exchange there. All started from that low ankle shot from Owen, and both guys looked like they were going to give up takedowns, a couple different times in that scramble.
Yeah, I think they were playing the far ankle game there. I think Lemley, at a point in time, he was in a a crackdown position, but then was able to kind of find far ankle and look for a little bit of a crotch lift and trying to do some back exposure. But that's a really interesting position there, is when you're in that neutral danger position. It's almost like you want to make sure you're trying to secure the takedown before you look for neutral danger. Because as you can see, sometimes the refs are a little bit slow to call.
Lemley doing a really good job, though, of securing those legs from the bottom position and getting that reversal.
Yeah, that did not look comfortable for Lemley. You know, when you get a guy that tall throwing legs in, you sometimes worry, but he did, again, just a great job of being patient and finding his little opening, getting the reversal. Back up to our feet.
One thing that doesn't always show through when watching wrestling on TV or streaming is the physicality of these matches. I mean, these tie-ups, they're not gentle. But when you're here in person, it's it's intense. It's loud.
Yeah, we have the headsets on, and you can still hear some of those clubs, banging against the headgear. And you wonder, nice sweep single there from Lemley.
Oh, and he did a nice job clearing his leg. He sensed that Owen was going to try to dive through there, and he just cleared his leg and secured the takedown.
Yeah, Lemley has done a great job of neutralizing the scrambling abilities of Owen in this match. Between the leg in and clearing the leg to a reversal, his first shot, kind of finishing really methodically through the middle. And then that shot right there, right? That dive through can put you into a 50-50, if not a kind of disadvantage. And he just shut it down right at the, right at the beginning.
Well, and the only time we've been in a scramble really in this match was off of Kai Owen's shot, So we talked earlier about Ragusin finishing his takedowns quickly and cleanly, and certainly that message has been delivered to Lemley as well.
I think so. Still 2 minutes to go, though, third period. Owen starts down. Nice return from Lemley.
Shane Sparks has got to like that.
Yeah, and I think that's something that even with the mat return that I've seen we emphasize, and I know that the best programs emphasize, is the mat return is half the battle, right? Once you get a guy down, you could mat return him 5 times and he can come back up. But it's kind of like the transition wrestling that I was talking about earlier, or flow wrestling, whatever you want to call it, where you want to find a wrist or a tight waist. As soon as you get to that mat return, you're looking to get this guy into a position where you can hold him down, and break him down to his belly.
Well, and some of it's that mental game too, just showing somebody that, yep, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to put you back down.
Yep.
Keep trying to get up, but we're just going to end up right back here.
And the mental game, speaking of, this is where Lemley thrives, in these minute left situations. A lot of guys are looking, at, all right, I have a major secured, but I think Lemley is smelling blood right now, and he's looking to get every score he can before that final whistle blows.
Well, you talked about the pace early in this match that he puts on. That's certainly been shown here.
Great job to continue the scramble here by Owen, though.
He's getting close to that neutral danger call. There it is.
We got one swipe.
Want to watch that knee. Lemley doing a good job of continuing to fight in this position.
They're trying to score here.
Yeah, Owen looks like he's kind of looking for the stalemate at this point.
Yeah, he's
trying to bring that leg up and out, shelf it. Ooh, watch the knee. Yep, that's close.
Yeah, that's a tough position for both guys, especially Lemley, where it seems like he can just slip his leg out and get the takedown, but it's almost like you got your foot stuck in mud, when a guy's holding it there.
Yeah.
a 12-4 major decision for Sergio Lemley.
Yeah, now we're going to have Jack McGill for Columbia going up against Joseph Walker. Walker just coming off of winning the Clarion Open a couple weeks ago. I was talking to him last week at the MSU Open, and he reminded me now he's got the helmet from Clarion Open and he's got a sword from the Edinburgh Open. So
full gladiator mode, just in time for the new movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, Walker is somebody, when we talk about, you know, waiting to be in the lineup, I think that he's been somebody that's, you know, had some marquee wins in tournaments and duels, but he's always found himself behind some of the best guys in the country. You know, last year, Shane Griffith coming in as a grad transfer, ended up finishing third at the NCAA tournament. And, you know, Joe, that's a really tough task to be the guy that, you know, has to kind of think he's going to crack his way into the lineup and then, you know, sit back on the sidelines. And so you always wonder how they're going to respond to that. And, you know, he's had a really strong start to this season. I think he's ready to establish himself as the guy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's a guy that you've been talking with me about, you know, just what he does in the room and how consistent he is with his preparation and everything. So you love to see a program guy like that getting his chance in the lineup.
Absolutely. And, you know, McGill here is also a senior, so you have some veterans going at it. And, you know, you can see just from the beginning of the match, right, a lot of kind of chess match being played with some fakes and from both guys, and just trying to establish a hand fight and establish your dominant tie early on in the match. Walker going to play the edge game here. Let's see if he can get this takedown.
Very close. Did a good job keeping his foot in the cylinder there.
Yeah, and great job from McGill. I mean, if you're on the edge and somebody's in on your leg, you got to realize that that's the advantage. You got to play to that advantage, and I think he did a great job there of realizing that, like I said, Walker's kind of he's working on two things at once there. Looking for a crusher.
Good transitions from that front headlock too, trying to still get to the ankles.
Yeah, great action here. We're still tied at 0-0, but not a boring match by any means. You know, some big attempts early on in this over/under position.
If you're Walker, you got to circle in. If you're McGill, you're trying to.
Yeah, this is a little bit of looks like more of a threat than a.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to play that edge game and look at maybe driving him out of bounds, but we get a stalemate and we're back center.
Yep. Official figured they weren't really trying to do much from that over/under position. Let's get him back in the center and create some more action. Nice fake. Good response from McGill, fighting that underhook in there to clear that tie. I like the pace from Walker here. He's had a couple good fakes, a couple good attempts at the leg. Hasn't quite gotten there yet, but
yeah, the movement is there, right? And I think that he's realizing that you know, kind of like we were talking about earlier, sometimes you just got to trust the process and know that your game plan is your game plan. And as I say, that beautiful shot from Walker, just low single, right at the buzzer too. You got to love that if you're a Michigan wrestling coach.
Those takedowns that don't allow even for a chance of somebody to get an escape, that's a huge game changer in these matches, especially with the 3-point takedown. I know in practices you go over situations, scenarios, you know, 10 seconds left, down by 2, that sort of thing in your scrambles, but how often is that emphasized in you know, practice settings about, you know, late period scoring?
I think we talk about it all the time, especially, you know, a guy that I want to give a shout out to this is Kevin Jackson. He's coached at the world level and really, you know, is the head of the you know, the Olympic and world team for the United States wrestling program. And I think that they like to pay attention a little bit more to statistics at that level. And so you look at those, how much of your winning percentage goes up when you get a takedown at the end of a period or the end of a match. And it really drastically increases your chances of winning. So, he really came in and we emphasize and we play those positions of down by 1 with 15 seconds to go, or you got to go get a score with short time. And kind of, I think more so than playing that position is just it's a mental game of knowing what is my go-to attack with 30 seconds left or with 15 seconds left in a period. Because just being really clear about that, and I'm kind of using his verbiage here. It's like you want to be clear about what that looks like, because otherwise it's probably not going to show up in a match, right? Just you're not going to have that aha moment or that epiphany. So being able to practice that, I think he's done a great job of kind of reiterating that in our room.
Absolutely. McGill doing a really good job here. Looks like picking up the sense of urgency almost. He did a really great job being physical, getting his escape on the edge. He's kind of taken control of the center of the mat here.
Yeah, great. I think McGill has wrestled a great match. That's what's crazy about those takedowns is it's just a quick takedown, and McGill almost felt like it was a very 50-50, if not McGill more controlling center than Walker. Definitely in the second period he has been. Mm-hmm. And if you're him, you just got to, again, just keep wrestling. And Walker, you're winning, but you can't take your foot off the gas pedal.
Right. Riding time not really a factor at this point with only 28 seconds. You got to assume Walker's going to choose down here, which he does. So now we'll see
Walker down.
Yeah, we'll see how good Jack McGill is at riding. What his strategy is going to be from here.
Looks like we got an escape.
Yep, there we go.
And looking right for a transition takedown there is Walker. And that's really exciting to see. I know if you follow Michigan wrestling, Walker has been great on his feet.
Nice counterattack from McGill.
It was.
Wow.
And finds himself out of bounds. But as I was saying, Walker is, that's been a big point of emphasis for him, is just, being able to be quick off the bottom. And I think that as he develops this season, you're really hoping that will continue to be, one of his strong suits, weakness turned strong suits. So now let's see if he can finish the match where I think he wants to be. But McGill, all it takes is one. And then who knows?
Well, and it's going to be interesting to see the approach here from Walker as well. Nice shot from McGill. That's what I was going to say. He's like kind of gone for that high crotch to the right leg of McGill several times. He hasn't actually gotten the leg.
Yeah, it almost puts it. It looks like Walker's getting through, but he's kind of shooting it. His shoulders are a little bit too wide, and he's kind of missing the body of McGill.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit over 30 seconds remaining in this match.
Yeah, this is go time if you're McGill.
Yeah, you do not want to be ear to ear if you're McGill right now. You want to clear this tie and look for your touch and go setups.
It's a nice shrug from Walker.
Yeah, Walker doing a great job just hold position here. Stick with your basics here, your wrestling fundamentals.
Nice re-attack. And this is, if you're Walker, you almost just want to hold on to the leg. Yeah, last 5 seconds. And he gets the takedown. Good job from McGill there at the end, even trying to throw that last kind of kitchen sink effort.
Yeah, it came down to the wire, but Joe Walker is the victor at 7-1 as we go into our 184-pound